nothing he could do about the things that have already happened. Our MC lost his adrenaline and felt his body's damage. He could barely breathe right now. He also remembered the times when he first met his comrades. This guy with a mark on its eyes was the first one to approach him. The other guys then followed up. They all greeted him and welcomed him to their group. These guys fought a lot of battles together, but right now, they are all gone. Our MC questioned their reason as to why they all went to this place even though they knew it was far too dangerous. He was still furious because he knew that they all did it because of their pride. It was a foolish act, but it was too late now. The only thing that he had in his mind right now was the mystery that he was the only one who could do damage against these beings. These giants could block the strongest sword art of the Empire, but not his sword. Our MC regrets the fact that he didn't know about this earlier. He thought that a lot of lives would have survived. This guy bowed his head as he felt defeated, but then he heard a faint voice somewhere. He quickly moved as this voice was familiar. That's when our MC found out that someone survived this onslaught. He saw a lady leaning on this huge boulder, but she was also not in great shape. This guy was glad as he saw that the Grand Commander was still alive. This lady was Grand Commander Adeshin. She was the one in charge in this quest on defeating the giant. Our MC then teased the Grand Commander for looking like this, but she countered that he was not looking great either. This is where we also found out that the name of our MC was Ronan. Grand Commander Adeshin asked Ronan if Ahayut was defeated. This man confirmed that he was the one who killed the giant. Tears fell on her eyes as she was glad about this news. She also thanked Ronan for doing his best. Our MC didn't expect to see his commander this vulnerable. He then changed his mood by asking his Grand Commander a request. Ronan told her that he wanted all the bodies in this battlefield to have a proper burial. Usually in a war like this, they will just leave here or they will get burned. But Adeshin told him that she was not sure if she could grant this request because she was not really in a good shape. She thought Ronan was more capable of doing that. This thought was proven wrong as our MC suddenly coughed a lot. He revealed that even himself could die any second now. He was just fooling around because he knew that there's nothing he could do about it now. Adeshin then asked Ronan what he would do if he was about to survive today. Ronan tried thinking, but there's only one thing he could come up with. He revealed that he wanted to go to the academy. This was because of what this giant told him about not nurturing his abilities. And as for the most important part, this was his late sister's wish. She really wanted him to study in an academy. But this didn't matter that much as he thought that he would now be reunited with them in heaven. Adeshin tried to encourage him as she was sure that a search party was already coming to save them, but Ronan told her that this was useless. And while they were waiting for their death, a bright light shone from above. This quickly alerted these two. They were wondering why the storm suddenly stopped, but this was followed by an intense pressure that was felt all over the place. Ronan tried to think what was happening until he saw something above the skies. It was a giant with 8 wings, but this was not the only one. It was with a lot of giants as well. These were like the beings that almost wiped out humanity. Ahayut was one of them, and right now, they have come in here with full force. Ronan stood up. He wondered where these beings came from. Adeshin's hope was shattered. She thought that those first 3 giants were the end, but that was not the case. This lady found out that she has no way to save this world even if this was her 3rd try. She was now confused and lost. She didn't know what to do, but Ronan's words brought her back. This guy asked his Grand Commander to use her telekinesis because his sword can't reach these giants. Adeshin was shocked. She can't believe that her subordinate was still thinking of fighting these beings even with their numbers and overwhelming power. Our MC then brought out his sword. He then swore that he would still do his best to drive these beings away. Adeshin found out that this guy was still not giving up. Ronan's attitude gave her a little bit of hope. She thought Ronan was the key to defeat these ones. Adeshin then called his attention. Ronan turned his head around towards his Grand Commander. She told him to stop talking and then did something. Our MC was really confused right now. He didn't expect something like this would happen. The Grand Commander let out a blue orb from her mouth and transferred it to Ronan. This guy didn't know what it was for. Adeshin leaned closer and whispered something in his ear. He tried to ask more questions, but this lady kept on whispering. When she was done, Ronan exclaimed and asked her what the hell she just did right now. But his expression changed as he heard her last request. This lady asked Ronan that if they would ever meet someday again, she wanted him to tell her to never do anything stupid and stay being a tailor. This final request froze our MC. But the giants behind him started casting something. This was also the first time he saw this sweet smile from his Grand Commander. A bright blinding light then appeared and it was rushing towards these two. This spell hit them spot on. The only thing that was left after that was the blue orb that Adeshan transferred to Ronan. After that, our MC was able to open his eyes once again. But right now, his surroundings were a lot more different. The skies were blue and he was not being surrounded by dead bodies. Ronan was still looking for his Grand Commander, but she was nowhere to be found. Right in front of him were these peaceful fields. He also saw these children who were playing along this river. He then figured out what happened. This place was called Nimbutan and this was his hometown. This also officially marked the first day of his regression. Ronan's head still hurts from all of this information. He thought that the Grand Commander's words were really true. Right before they were attacked by the giants, this lady did something. She transferred a blue orb onto Ronan. Adeshan revealed that this blue orb was able to turn back time. She also told him about her previous life before she got this orb. She was just a normal tailor, but the power of the orb allowed her to regress back in time again, and that's the time she became the commander of the empire. This orb only allows 4 regression, and Adeshan has already used 3. She gave this orb to Ronan so he could use the 4th chance. She believed that the power to slay the giants was within our MC's hands. He was the key for stopping the world's destruction. This lady also whispered to Ronan that this chance will give him more time to sharpen his abilities. It will also fulfill his dream of going to the academy. Grand Commander Adeshan also told him the best academy he should go to, and this was the Fill-In Academy. This place was full of people who could help him grow stronger. And as mentioned a while ago, this lady requested something from Ronan. She wanted him to remind herself to pursue her dream of becoming a tailor. Back to the current time, this guy was still confused. He thought that this was just a dream, so he tried waking himself up. And if all of these were real, he didn't know what to do first. But as he was trying to convince himself of his current situation, he remembered something important. He then picked up the stick that was near him. Our MC quickly ran back home because this was the time that his sister was still alive and well. This one passed through the crowd as he was too excited to see his sister again. He even has this kind of smile on his face. But as he was rushing down, he noticed something and stopped. He met a bunch of young boys who were bullying someone. The unfortunate fellow had his body suspended in an inverted position. Our MC sighed because he was familiar with these guys. He thought that these ones have never changed even in the past. He was about to continue going home, but something got his attention. He saw that the child was not being hanged using a rope but with magic. Ronan checked his surroundings for the person who could use magic. He was aware that this kind of ability was considered to be rare as it was too useful on the battlefield. That's when he saw this person with red hair. This one was the one who was using magic. The red-haired child wondered how long he needed to maintain his magic. If this kept on going, something bad was gonna happen to this child. This guy was pleading and begging the other guys to let him go. He told them that he really didn't have any money. He also told them that his mother's medicine for this month was too expensive. This guy with golden hair, who seemed to be the leader of this group, told him that he really didn't care about this boy's mother. He then struck this one. He told him that if he really wanted to be a filial son, he should have earned more money this month. The other guys just laughed and watched them. This bully then turned his attention towards this guy who uses magic. He told him that since this boy was not coming to his senses, he should be lifted to the top of the tree. The red-haired person tried to stop him from commanding this, but it was denied. He had no choice, because if he did not follow his words, he would be the one who'll end up like this poor boy. This one even intimidated the guy who could use magic. This individual exhibited cowardice in his actions. It was revealed that his name was Asel. He then thought about how he ended up in this situation. It just started with her will of showing everyone that he was good at using magic. Asel's hands were shaking. He wanted to tell this bully that he will not do his command. He was about to ask them to stop, but something stopped him. It was a strike from a stick. This attack was from Ronan. He told Asel to stop casting his magic. Since Asel lost his focus, the poor boy fell down. The bully got furious to Asel. He was about to turn his attention to this red-haired guy, but someone stopped him. Ronan told Asel to not mind the bully and just talk with our MC. This guy asked Asel where he learned using telekinesis magic. He did this while ignoring the bully. This magic user revealed that he just bought a cheap grimoire from a peddler. Our MC was amazed because this kind of ability came from something cheap. He then thought that he needed to see more of this ability as it will really help him in the future to defeat the giants. But his thoughts were interrupted as he heard a familiar sound. Ronan saw that this guy just brought out his sword. This one was too furious because he kept on being ignored. This bully then rushed towards our MC. But Ronan didn't feel threatened against a young boy who was using a real sword. He even wondered where this guy got this longsword. He also noticed how bad this guy's posture was. And since this bully was not really strong, his strike was not able to reach our MC. This one was shocking because Ronan easily dodged his attempt. Ronan knew that even if he was back to his younger self, something didn't change. It was his battle sense that he developed in his previous life. The golden-haired bully tried to make an alibi and told Ronan he was really lucky today as he will try to spare his life. All he needed to do was to pay some respect towards this bully. These taunts were all good and all, but this bully went beyond when he included Ronan's sister in their conversation. He told Ronan that he will treat her well if ever our MC will die today. This guy had no time and patience hearing more of it. He quickly used the wooden stick that he had and struck the bully. Blood then started to come out with a rapid and precise strike. This individual's ear was cut. It took him a few more seconds to understand what just happened. He let go of his longsword and started to scream in pain. The other guys who were with him got scared as well. Ronan then approached this bully. Our MC still had this serious expression on his face. It was right at this moment this bully knew that he messed up. The one who won this fight was clear in the eyes of these bullies. They were about to help their leader, but they were too scared to come near Ronan. Our MC was able to cut someone's ear using a mere wooden stick. Ronan then addressed these other guys. He told them that they need to run now if they don't want to end up like their leader. But before they could run, our MC commanded them to leave all the money they stole from the boy. These guys knew that they had no chance of winning against Ronan, so they quickly complied. After a few more minutes, this boy was given his money back. This poor boy told our MC that this amount of money was way more than the amount those bullies stole from him. But he was told that he could keep all of it as Ronan really didn't need more. As a result, this boy thanked our MC with all of his heart. And while they were talking, Asel was just standing beside them. This guy apologized towards the poor boy. He told him that he was just too scared to defy the bully's orders. Asel continued to say sorry, and it made the poor boy speechless. This one then revealed that he already knew Asel's situation all along. He smiled and told this magic user that it was really not his fault. Asel's apology was also greatly appreciated. After that, the poor boy said his goodbyes to Ronan and Asel. These two were now left alone. Our MC looked at Asel for a moment. This one really doesn't look like a boy to me. This was also the same for Ronan's perspective. He even addressed Asel as a girl. After that, Ronan spoke about the business he wanted to do with this one. He told Asel that they should meet here again in 4 days. Asel tried asking Ronan more questions, but he didn't answer them. And before he could really go his way, our MC reminded Asel that he'll know what's gonna happen if he doesn't come. This one was then left on his own. Also, for now, we will address Asel as a boy. But I really think this one was a lady. After a while, our MC arrived in front of their house. He even brought some flowers for his sister. He remembered that she liked these ones, but since he was too embarrassed, he was about to throw them away. Luckily, his sister noticed his presence and opened the door. Her voice stunned our MC. He didn't know what to do next. When his sister died in his past life, he questioned himself about what he would do if he ever met her again. This was one of the things he regretted in his past life, but his situation right now was a lot more different. He was given another chance. His sister was now standing in front of him with her bright and sweet smile. This lady was even glad that her brother was back early today. Ronan then told her sister that he was back. These were the only words he could think of. His sister then immediately prepared his food. She also teased her brother because she didn't think of a day she would receive some flowers from Ronan. This lady's name was Earl. Earl was clearly happy receiving the simple gift from our MC. Ronan then asked her sister about her age this year. He found out that she was already 22 years old. He needed to ask for this information because he was curious about this world's current timeline. Our MC thought that he now has 10 years left before these giants invade their world. Earl then approached Ronan and checked his temperature. She was wondering why her brother was acting a little bit weird today. But this was the same Earl that our MC remembers. She was bright, kind, and warm. He wished that this moment would last forever. This thought then made Ronan remember something he needed to do. He then informed her that he had something to tell her. His serious expression caught her off guard. Our MC told her sister that he was planning to enter the academy. This lady was not able to process this information right away, but as soon as she realized it, her face brightened up. She was really glad that he heard this thing from her brother. Earl then quickly ran somewhere inside their house. She started to throw things around as she was looking for something she was preparing when this day had come. This lady brought out a huge pot. Ronan peeked inside the pot. This was Earl's gift for her brother. The pot was full of coins. This was more than enough to send her brother to an academy. She kept this as a secret to surprise Ronan. This guy didn't expect this gesture from his sister. He then told her that he appreciated this gesture, but this amount of money was still not enough. Our MC then revealed the name of the academy he wanted to go to. And it was the Imperial School, Frieren Academy. Hearing this, Earl made this confused expression. She screamed at the top of her lungs as she realized what her brother meant. The Frieren Academy was considered as the Empire's best leading educational institution. It was filled with the most outstanding professors all over the world, and it also has a great imperial funding. It was also known as the Factory of Heroes. Grand Commander Adeshan graduated here. It was also where the Swordmaster Schleifen studied. Even the worst criminal named Winter Witch came from this place. Our MC knew that all of these people did a great job against the giants. This place was even recommended by Adeshan herself. The only problem with this academy was it was known to have high entrance standards and insane fees. But these things didn't stop our MC from giving it a try, especially when his sister was cheering for him the whole time. This thought made him more determined to show her that he can pass the exam and enter the academy. But before he could do all that, our MC saw someone along the way. He didn't expect this person to be here. It was Estelle. Our MC even called her Maisel, which was quickly corrected. This red-haired guy came here because of our MC's scary threat. But Ronan really didn't mean those. But since Estelle was here, Ronan told him that they will be busy tonight. He will conduct a test. This one was confusing because he really didn't expect to have a test right now. Ronan then revealed that he wanted Estelle to cast his telekinesis towards him. This guy wanted to be lifted as high as Estelle could. Estelle tried to explain that this move was too dangerous, but Ronan insisted. He was sure that he would be safe as long as Estelle followed his instructions. With this, Estelle started casting his spell. The spell he used was called Invisible Hand, and it was directed towards our MC. This guy was shocked as he really felt the magic on his body. His feet started to elevate, and after a few seconds, Ronan was too thrilled because he really went up high. This feeling was like the spell he got when he was fighting this giant, although it was still lacking in height and stability. Telekinesis allowed our MC fight on equal footing with those giants. Along with his mysterious ability, this was the only thing he needed. Ronan smiled because he didn't expect to find someone this early to assist him in his journey. Estelle just became the most important thing he needed in his battle against the giants. After a few more seconds, Estelle was already having a hard time maintaining his control. But our MC told him to hold it a little longer because he still wanted to check something. Our MC brought out his weapon. He then slashed the air all of a sudden. Estelle was amazed at what he was seeing. He realized that our MC just slashed his mana and cut off his telekinesis skill. As soon as Ronan landed, Estelle asked him about the trick that he did. This was his first time to see someone cut mana, but his questions were not answered because Ronan also didn't know why this phenomenon was happening. Our MC thought that his mysterious ability was also one of his assignments. He also needed to find out the truth about it. As of now, his hypothesis was that this sword art could cut through mana. But he didn't need to rush finding out about this because he still had to focus on something more important. After that quick test, Ronan informed Asel that he passed. He then gave Asel the extra bag he had. Our MC told him that they have something to do before the moon disappears. This thing was so important that it could be considered as the very first page on Ronan's biography. These two then continued their journey. Asel was also informed about Ronan's plan on entering Frieren Academy. He tried to confirm if what he heard was true because this said academy only accepts the Empire's elite. Our MC got annoyed because Asel kept on repeating the same questions. He told him that this plan was really happening, but Ronan still confirmed if Asel also wanted to enter the academy. This one really wanted to enter as well, but the problem was that he had no great talent. On top of that, he knew that he was a coward and too timid. Our MC had enough of this thinking. He asked Asel if he wanted to keep living a life like that. This question made Asel have a sudden realization. He thought that he was really wasting his talent. Ronan also didn't deny that his comrade really does have these negative attitudes. He openly acknowledged that Asel was, in fact, someone who often displayed a tendency to cry and was also prone to fear. But all of these things were fine because he still has the chance to change everything now. Ronan also reminded Asel that time is the most important asset in this world. Everything that the time passes now can't be changed, and if Asel does not start changing now, he will regret everything someday. Our MC really meant all of these statements. This was because they were based on his personal experiences. His past life was full of regrets. Ronan then asked Asel if he could do these changes now. Meanwhile, in Asel's perspective, he never thought that Ronan had this amount of concern for his well-being. But since he didn't answer any of Ronan's questions, our MC proceeded to walk again. That's when Asel told him what he was waiting for. Asel wants to change and he will go with Ronan to Frieren. Our MC turned towards Asel again and told him that this was the first time he became manly. But all of these things were already planned by Ronan. You guys could see it based on his facial expression. Later that night, their first mission had already started. Asel was shocked after being briefed by our MC. These two were now observing something. This was the first hurdle that Asel needed to pass through. Our MC brought Asel on the very first opponent that he needed to improve his skill. This was none other than the Lunar Goblin. Right now, all of these monsters were sleeping. Ronan had this bright aura around him because he thought that this was really the perfect time to execute their plan. He even had this expression when he told Asel that they were about to start their mission. The Lunar Goblins were a type of monster that commonly appears in this area. People were able to differentiate them with the normal goblins because they have this yellow skin. But the one that sets them apart from the other goblins was their addiction towards gold and other treasures. These ones often ambush merchants to steal their treasure and goods. After they have gathered the treasures, they will put it all in one place and celebrate. They usually do these festivals when the nights are with a full moon. And as planned, the night when they saw this group of lunar goblins had a full moon. Asel was starting to tremble as he realized what their mission was all about. Ronan revealed that they were about to steal that treasure tonight. This one was quite confusing because this was the first time he heard about the festivals of lunar goblins. He asked Ronan how he knew about this information, but our MC can't really answer his question. This knowledge was from his previous life. He then wrapped his arms around Asel as he told him that he will cast his telekinesis skill to move all the treasure towards their bags. But this one told Ronan that it wasn't that easy. He was still worried about making a mistake and waking the goblins up. This was the situation they should really avoid. Asel tried to ask our MC to even think about this plan more, but he was just told that he was scared. Ronan then started to explain to Asel why they really need this plan to work. They have two things they need in order to get into Frieren. The first one was money. They needed to afford their tuition fees there. And the second one was the real experience in battle. This guy explained that all the aristocrats that were being sent in that academy were already being trained since they were born. And if they wanted to win against these guys, this was the only way to do that. Ronan knew that they needed to gain experience by risking their lives. This is the most effective way. The lunar goblins were the perfect opponent for them. This mission will give them money and experience. This was like hitting two birds with one stone. Asel had no other choice but to cry. He knew that Ronan's statements were really on point, and since it was decided, our MC told Asel to start casting his telekinesis skill. The night then continued to be peaceful, and within this quiet night, these treasures were already being transferred one by one. Ronan's and Asel's bags were slowly being filled. These items right here were the last ones inside the treasure chest of the goblins. Asel really focused himself on using his skill because he didn't want to mess up. Our MC smiled as he saw that the treasures were successfully transferred. Their bags were even glowing inside. 2 bags got filled and it was all worth it. Ronan praised his buddy for doing such an amazing job, but all along, he knew that Asel could really do it. And right at this panel, he addressed Asel as a girl again. He even thought that this lady was better than he expected. His eyes and smile then changed into this devilish style as he thought that he gained a really good minion. Ronan started to pack everything up as they were done with their mission. He told Asel that they should go back now. They needed to hurry before anything went wrong. Ronan seemed to have jinxed it as something along the forest started. 2 men were running at top speed as they were trying to chase something. These 2 were trying to catch this bird. Their loud shouts then alerted our MC and Asel. They wondered who these people were as they just caused some chaos inside the forest. The noise that those 2 created also woke up the goblins. Their leader immediately checked their treasure and found out that it was emptied. This one panicked as he confirmed it. He then alerted all the other goblins in their group. This happened in a matter of seconds. They were able to have a quick meeting, and as they were thinking where their treasures had gone, these goblins noticed something. They saw 2 humans that were about to escape. Ronan and Asel thought that they messed up. The goblins immediately rushed towards them. Asel was already panicking. He didn't know what to do. This one fell on his knees. He was too scared to even move. Meanwhile, Ronan kept his calm composure. They will not run and throw their bags just because of these goblins. And besides, they have no other way they could pay their tuition if they will lose these treasures. These monsters were now closing in, but Ronan was still busy checking his weapon. He thought that this longsword was made from cheap steel, but he knew that this cheap longsword would withstand 15 attacks. The only problem was that these goblins that just jumped towards them were about 30 in numbers. Asel couldn't do anything but to watch as these goblins were about to attack them. He even warned Ronan to watch out. But as for our MC, 15 attacks was more than enough to deal with these monsters. He then made this wide slash and he already got 3 of them. Their heads were already detached from their bodies. Asel was shocked as he witnessed this scene. Ronan exclaimed that he still had 14 attacks left. The crows around the forest made some sounds as they witnessed what happened. The lunar goblins got annihilated by a single human. Ronan managed to defeat all of the monsters. Asel thought that this was too impossible, but his eyes didn't deceive him. Ronan has done it. He recalled the first slash that our MC did that defeated 3 goblins instantly. As for these mobs that came after that, he recalled that Ronan disappeared for a little while, and one by one, these guys started to fall to the ground. Their limbs were also chopped off. Ronan just displayed amazing swordsmanship skill. These monsters have no way of winning this fight against our MC. Asel thought that he just saw a genius. When the fight was over, Ronan got Asel's attention. He can't be spacing like that. Our MC then smiled and told him that they should now get ready as they will be going home. The night was still young when they were walking back. The weight of these bags that were full of treasures also started to toll on their bodies. Ronan also whined about his muscles being sore after that short fight with the goblins. He thought that he would do some intense physical training tomorrow to make his muscles stronger. Asel then asked our MC about the sound that alerted them and the goblins. But Ronan also had no idea. He was also still annoyed because that loud voice interrupted their perfect plan. He thought that those people were really out of their minds screaming in the middle of the night. But as they walked peacefully back home, an arrow was pointed at them. And after a few seconds, the arrow flew. It was directed towards Asel. This guy managed to notice it, but it was already too near. Luckily, Ronan caught this arrow and it didn't reach Asel. This one panicked as he realized what was about to happen to him if Ronan didn't catch this arrow. Our MC then started to scout the area. He then saw these 2 guys. One of them was holding a bow and arrow as his weapon. Ronan got furious because those two called them kids. These two unknown guys then approached them. One of them even apologized for firing that arrow. This one said that they heard a noise and thought there were monsters. He made this alibi while staring at the treasures inside Ronan's back. These two then made this kind of look to each other. They seemed to have communicated something. Ronan didn't accept their apologies. He already knew that these guys were lying. Our MC then asked them to stop acting. He now has this serious face. Ronan asked the identities of these two. These ones didn't expect this kind of reaction from these kids. The one with the bow then slowly approached Ronan. He tried making small talk while preparing his hidden weapon, and after a few seconds, he revealed their true identity. He told Ronan that they were called Caliboro. He did this while swinging his weapon towards our MC. Ronan seemed to know this Caliboro term. He then caught this man's hand and prevented the attack. Our MC was also quick and counterattacked. His punch was enough to make this one lose his consciousness. The other guy saw what happened to his comrade and started to rush as well. Asel noticed this attempt. He then used his telekinesis skill while calling Ronan's attention. And right at the very last second, he managed to cast his spell towards their opponent. This guy was frozen on his tracks. He didn't know why he couldn't move. This scene made our MC smile. He was really impressed by what Asel did. Ronan didn't waste this opportunity that his friend created and removed the weapon of his opponent. This sharp dagger then fell into his hands, and he used it to finish this one off. This guy didn't understand what just happened. His body was not able to catch up quick enough. A loud scream was then heard all over the forest. Asel then asked Ronan if their opponent was dead already. And our MC told him yes. He has no plans on sparing someone just trying to kill them. On top of that, our MC also told Asel that these two belonged to the group called Caliboro. These individuals had gained notoriety for their extensive history of engaging in virtually every type of crime imaginable. Additionally, they held the infamous reputation of being the most malevolent poaching group within the empire. Ronan told Asel that this really had to be done, because if not, their organs were the ones who were being harvested right now. It was also considered a crime to let these people leave, especially after knowing their identities. And while they were about to leave this place, our MC felt a presence. These two saw a bag that just started jumping and moving on its own. Ronan and Asel approached the bag to check it. They thought that this one may be a poached animal. Our MC opened the bag and a pair of glaring eyes stared at him. And after a few seconds, the animal inside flew outside. This blue flying animal was now hovering above these two. Ronan wondered what the hell was this chicken thing. Ronan and Asel can't believe what they were seeing. They thought that this creature was just a blue chicken, but that was not it. It was a cute blue bird. Asel was bewildered by this creature as this was the first time he saw this one. Ronan told him that it was the same for him. As this blue bird was flying in front of them, our MC noticed a shackle that was on its feet. Ronan knew that this shackle was a Caliboro's poaching shackle. Its main purpose was to disturb the wearer's mana and restrict their movements. Our MC recalled the use of this thing. He remembered that this item was usually being used on rare occasions, especially when catching fantastical creatures. This thought made Ronan realize something. A mysterious voice also started coming out from this creature. There was now a magic circle on its head. After a few more seconds, the voice became more clear. This one claimed that something was finally linked. This event made these two back a little bit. Asel got scared and thought that a bird was talking. But Ronan told him that it was only communication magic. Our MC then looked at the bag where this creature was previously contained. He concluded that this bag may have the power to block mana. A mysterious being was then shown. This was the owner of the voice that was coming out from the magic circle. He introduced himself as Frieren and he was researching about the fantastical beast at the institution. He told Ronan and Asel that this bird was named Marpus, and it has been quite a while since he was able to find a connection with it. Frieren then asked these two about their identities. Ronan told him that they were just passers-by. Our MC also told him about the poachers they just fought now. He shared that these poachers were the ones who kidnapped Marpes. Ronan was about to share how he saved this bird, but he hesitated. There was just too much bloodshed and it was really not right to share this one to Frieren. He just opted to conclude that they saved Marpes against the poachers. Frieren didn't expect that there will be poachers that will target his fantastical bird. He claimed that he was now in debt with Ronan, but he still didn't know how to repay him. Ronan told him that Frieren really didn't need to. Their main concern was how they could return Marpes to him. This blue bird seemed to be really tired by the way it looked. Our MC asked him if Marpes could fly well if he would destroy the shackle. Frieren confirmed this and told Ronan that this bird has a great instinct, so it will be able to return to him with no problem at all. And with a swift movement, Ronan brought his sword and did a quick slash. This move really destroyed the shackle that was on Marpes's feet. Ronan called Marpes as Blue Eye and commanded it to return to its dad as it was now worrying about him. And this was how this bird saw our MC in its perspective. Its eyes were glimmering and were captivated. But before this blue bird could really return to its dad, Ronan noticed something strange. Marpes was shoving its ears towards Ronan and it made our MC annoyed. He didn't know what this meant. Frieren then started to explain that Marpes just wanted Ronan to pluck one of its feathers. This meant that Marpes wanted to meet its savior again. The feather will act as a compass for this blue bird. After that, Marpes spread its wings and started to fly away. Frieren also said his thanks and goodbyes. He hoped that Ronan and SL could visit them soon. Marpes's speed was really remarkable. It also has this cute smile on its face as it was returning to its dad. Ronan can't believe his eyes because that bird was too fast. SL then noticed something. He told our MC that there's something on his hand. This one then shifted his attention to what SL had said. Both of these guys were now confused on what they were seeing right now. They both wondered what this thing was that was on our MC's hand. A few days later, Ronan and SL went to this caravan. All the people here were busy loading and unloading their goods that were about to be traded somewhere. And among the traders here, one of them was now examining this jewel. This old man was the owner of Carbel Merchantry. His name was Duan Carbel, and he was now willing to give 20 gold for this jewel because of its purity and craftsmanship. A lot of these things were also being appraised, and Mr. Duan claimed that this must be his lucky day. The ones he was talking to right now was none other than Ronan and SL. They were now selling the loot they got from the goblins last time. Our MC was also glad because he finally found someone that was appraising these treasures at a fair rate. All the other merchants around this area tried to rip him off. They were just buying the treasures for a low price. Ronan then shook the hands of Mr. Duan. These two immediately got respect for each other, and as the negotiation was about to end, Ronan reached into his pocket and wanted to show this old man if he could also appraise one more thing. Ronan brought out a mysterious-looking egg. Its shell was colored like the galaxy. Mr. Duan started to check and analyze this egg. Turns out, this egg was from Marpes. It left this thing behind. This mysterious egg has its weird and powerful aura around it, and Ronan has no idea what it was. At first, these two thought that the blue bird repaid their kindness by leaving a poop. This idea made our MC annoyed, and he decided to throw this thing towards this huge rock. The impact was powerful enough to crash that huge rock. It didn't even make a crack on this thing. Ronan and SL were dumbfounded as they saw this scene. Back to the current situation. This appraiser was still checking this egg. Ronan was just there standing. He was patiently waiting because he knew that this item could be worth something more. This old man continued to concentrate on this egg. He was starting to conclude something based on its appearance. Ronan's face brightened up as he thought that he was now about to find out what this thing was. But his hope was shattered as Mr. Duan thought that this egg was just horse poop. Ronan denied this claim, and the old man told him that he had no idea what this thing was. He advised our MC to go and appraise it in a specialized place. This remark made Ronan more curious about it and decided to not sell this one now. Meanwhile, SL was still thinking if it was just a hard poop. Ronan then asked the old man if he was selling some books about Frieren Academy. He shared that they were about to do the Frieren's entrance exam and they still didn't have any idea about it. Mr. Duan was glad to hear this information as they just came with the right timing. The old man revealed that his daughter was also about to take the entrance exam and he was sure that his daughter could help these two. And after a few seconds, a lady appeared and asked her dad what was going on. Mr. Duan told Ronan and Estelle that his daughter have arrived and these two quickly turned to look at her. This blonde girl was named Mary Carbell, and she was the only daughter of the old man. Ronan's attention got fixated as soon as he heard her name. He kept on staring at this waifu's face. Mara had green eyes and a sharp-looking face. Mr. Duan then introduced Ronan and Estelle as their customers that they just have done a big deal with. Her language was then scolded by her father. Mr. Duan quickly apologized on how his daughter acted. He claimed that Mary grew up in commerce, so she speaks quite roughly. Estelle told the old man that all of these things were fine. But then, Ronan started walking away. Our MC went in front of this lady and questioned her identity. Ronan asked if she was really Maria. This one claimed that she was really the one. She even confirmed that her middle name was Sen. Maria was now wondering how Ronan knew about this information. Meanwhile, this guy was still lost in his thoughts. He was thinking about a certain someone he knew that really looked like this lady in front of him. The only problem was that the person he knew back then had this kind of body build. Ronan then concluded to just ask Mara something. He asked her to lend him an ear. Mara went closer as she was wondering what this guy was about to ask. Ronan then proceeded to whisper if she has the thing down there. Our ever so straightforward MC asked this lady if she has a deek. Mara looked at our MC as she was really caught off guard by his question. She thought that it was a stupid question to ask, but Ronan's face still has this serious look. This meant that he was really not kidding. After a few moments, Mara started to realize the question she just heard. She was speechless. Ronan then added that no matter how he looked at her, it seemed that Mary didn't have one. This statement made this lady more annoyed. Ronan was still thinking about some more possibilities that could prove that he was mistaken. But a blurry thing was already approaching him. The indistinct figure was Mara's hand. She swatted Ronan and told him to be quiet. Ronan didn't have time to dodge this one. But the sensation he felt from the slap was the same familiar pain he got back then. He looked at Maria again and she now has the striking resemblance to Ronan's previous companion. The person he was talking about was Count Marisen, just a little throwback. But Ronan met Marisen when he was just a disciplinary soldier in a place called Armorland, and Mara was the one in charge of the supplies. These two had a great relationship because Mara has this easygoing attitude. Ronan even concluded back then that Maria was an impressive person. The only problem was that Maria was getting unusually angry when all of the soldiers were talking about deeks. Our MC also noticed Maria's habit of swatting people when this person was getting annoyed. Ronan was really curious about this thing back then, but he really didn't have the opportunity to ask Maria about this because something happened. Maria died in the war earlier than Ronan did. She met her end fighting against the angels as well. Back to the current situation. Ronan smiled because he finally found the answer towards his questions about Maria. Maria was acting like that because she was a girl. All of the soldiers thought that Maria was a guy like them. This lady saw Ronan smiling again and this annoyed her more. She was now heading towards him to give him a lesson, but our MC just swatted her head. This move made her stop on her tracks. Ronan told her to stop acting up as she had already swatted him once. He told Mara that she let her do that because he was in the wrong just now. But this warning was not enough to stop her from attacking him once more. Ronan received a powerful headbutt. These two then started their fight again. They looked like two children fighting over a candy. Estelle and Mr. Duan can't believe what they were seeing. These two could only watch right now, and since Ronan and Mary were not stopping, they were forced to go and break these two. Later that day, the two calmed down and they were all inside the tent. Estelle had this kind of expression. He was confused about what he was seeing right now. He wondered how these two were now acting like they have known each other for a long time after fighting each other a while ago. Ronan and Mary continued to discuss something. Turns out, they were talking about their weapons. Mara has her inputs about how to effectively use these ones. She wondered why Ronan was carrying 3 swords and a magic wand. Our MC then revealed that he was using the swords quite heavily, so he needed to have a lot of spare in case one of them breaks. And among the 3 swords, Mara concluded that this black iron sword is the best. She shared that black iron was known to be more sturdy and the known knights were usually seeking this kind of item. Mara told him that she doesn't know how Ronan uses his sword, but she was certain that it won't break. This was also the first time Ronan found out that he got a black iron sword. Back then, this was his favorite weapon. This lady continued that the one has a gold magic stone embedded in it. That leaves the other 2 weapons. She then turned her attention towards Isel. She asked if this cutie was the rare mage that Ronan was talking about. Isel nervously confirmed this. Mara asked him what kind of magic he could use, and he told her that he could use telekinesis magic. This information shocked Mara because she knew that this kind of magic was really rare for all the mages. She even thought that Isel could easily get a scholarship for this one. With that, this blonde lady told our main character that they were the only problem for the upcoming practical exam. She asked him what he was planning to show the judges, especially some techniques that could get their interest. Ronan clearly had no idea that there's this kind of requirement. Mara then shared that this was the part where applicants needed to impress the professors and show them that they were really capable. This one also emphasized that even if someone would not do well on the theory exam, they will pass as long as they were excellent in the practical. She even added that if applicants would not be able to prove their worth, they should just go and forget about the academy. Ronan sighed as he thought that this only complicates things. In his mind, a swordsman just needs to be good at swordsmanship. The 2 then talked about the usual demonstrations on the practical exam. Applicants typically display their family's secret techniques. Mary even added that some of the applicants even demonstrated their personal mana fighting techniques. Ronan then cut her off as he questioned the thing about mana. This lady was then dumbfounded on how Ronan took this information. She revealed that if someone was eyeing to become a student in Frieren Academy, they should at least be able to use mana. Our main character had this expression as he listened to what Mario was saying. He really has no idea about the basic requirements for the entrance exam. It was at this moment when Mario figured out that Ronan can't sense his own mana. Her body trembled in disbelief. Her theory was confirmed when our main character mistook mana with aura. She just can't believe it. She then hid her face in frustration. She didn't expect someone to be this clueless before trying to enter Frieren Academy. Ronan asked her why she was making such a fuss about it. He claimed that he might even know what she was talking about. Mara stood up and told Ronan to go outside. This statement confused him. She then borrowed the 2 short swords that were on the table. She claimed that she had left her sword at the blacksmith. This action annoyed our main character as he thought that Mara could damage his swords. But she was confident that whatever she would do, it will be finished before that happens. She also gave Ronan an insurance that she would pay him 3-fold if she broke the swords. Our MC just sighed as he knew that there's nothing he could do about it. Mara told Ronan that he should hurry up and go outside as well. This one plans to give him special training. In this world, mana is the source of the power of nature. It exists everywhere in the world, but it doesn't mean that everyone has the ability to use it. Mana could only be used if someone would be able to see and feel it. This basic process was called mana sense, and to achieve this, people usually do intense innate training. Various things would also come into play, but usually, it takes 1 year before one person could sense their mana. Those people who were able to master this process at such an early age usually apply inside the Frieren Academy. This basic information was now being taught towards our main character. Mara claimed that Ronan should forget even wanting to enter Frieren if he fails to even figure the difference between mana and aura. These 2 were now outside. Both of them were now prepared and holding their weapons. Mara then continued to share more information. She told Ronan that aura is a type of mana, but the difference between the 2 was still too far. Turns out, the enlightened innate power that someone could get after such blood-curdling effort was called aura. This blonde lady asked Ronan if he understood a bit of what she had been saying. In our main character's perspective, He had already encountered countless people in his past life that claimed to be aura users. These ones were also able to use unusual powers. He remembered that these opponents were really annoying, but at the same time, they were also amazing. But their auras and unusual powers were still not enough. They were still defeated by Ronan. His attention was then brought back to the current situation as Maria told him that they should get started on their training. She claimed that he would learn faster if he used his body instead of his head. Ronan didn't pay much attention because he thought that Maria was just a young girl. But in a swift moment, this blonde lady was able to close her distance with Ronan. Her speed was clearly extraordinary. Our main character was caught off guard. His eyes widened as soon as he realized what was happening. He was still able to defend against the attack of Maria, but he was clearly at disadvantage. His eyes locked on Maria as he noticed something. This fierce expression was the same one that he was able to see back then. These two then started exchanging their skillful mastery in swordsmanship. They were almost at par with each other. Ronan didn't expect Maria to have this kind of power in their early age. He even noted that this one could even use dual swords. He then wondered if Maria was already using mana like she mentioned earlier. The problem was that he really can't tell because he can't see or even sense mana. Meanwhile, in Maria's perspective, she was already in shock. Her initial intention was to finish this fight instantly, but it ended up being dragged this long. Even if she was now using mana, Ronan has been withstanding all of her attempts. She also wanted Ronan to feel the sense of defeat, as she didn't want him to feel this kind of humiliation when he entered the entrance exam. Maria was just looking after him, but right now, all of her plans backfired. The one that was being pushed back was herself. She didn't expect someone who can't even sense mana to have this kind of strength. She was still wondering what was happening, but then Ronan asked her something. He asked her how she thought he was doing. This also came as Ronan deflected her sword. With this menacing look on his face, our MC was already planning on finishing this battle. He even warned Maria to dodge this attack and never ever attempt to block it. Luckily, Maria's body was able to react to what Ronan had said. She then took a step back and dodged the attack. This one had her life nearly taken from her. She smiled and commented that the attack that Ronan did could have really been a real problem. That was the time she knew that Ronan was not an ordinary kid. Our MC then returned the favor and said the same thing to her. Ronan then commented that Maria was really talented even if she was not using mana. But her problem was that she was still clumsy finding her center of balance. This one told her that she would improve a lot if she could fix this problem. Ronan was about to leave, but Maria stopped him. She was still whining and shouted that their fight was still not finished. But our MC showed no more interest. This one really didn't care at all, and as soon as he said those words, Maria's sword started to have some cracks. This one still had no idea what just happened. The sword she used against our MC got broken. Her eyes widened as soon as she realized this. She wondered when was the time her sword received significant damages. Meanwhile, Ronan reminded her about her promise. The one that she will be replacing the swords with if she would lose against him. This lady was about to protest again, but someone got her attention, and this was Asel. This guy told her that she had done well against Ronan. His face also showed that he kinda knew what Maria was feeling right now. Ronan then shouted at Asel that it's time for them to rest, and this guy immediately went towards him. This lady was then left there standing alone while wondering what the hell was Ronan. These two left and headed towards their lodging. The next day, Ronan and Asel came back to the place where the merchants were just to pick up the sword that was promised to him by Maria. But as he was about to get it, something confused him. He asked Maria what was in front of him. Turns out, aside from the swords that were promised, Maria also took the liberty to give him books that they will need towards the fill-in entrance exam. These right here were all the summarized notes that Maria made. She said that they would really need these as the entrance exam was only a month from now. Asel's eyes were already sparkling, but Ronan still asked Maria why she was doing all of these. He then warned her as he thought that she was just pulling some pranks on them. Maria then tried calming him down and told him that she just came to like them. She even added that she just wanted the three of them to get accepted inside the academy. And to top it all up, all of the added things were all free of charge. Mary wanted to teach them lessons herself, but her life as a merchant prevented her from doing that. They needed to move from one place to another because of the trades. This lady then gently bumped her fist towards Ronan and told her that she wishes them the best of luck and they should now study hard on their own. She also playfully warned him that she won't let them scot-free if they failed the exam. Ronan smiled. He told her that she didn't have to do all of this and she should just focus on herself. After a few moments, Mary was already riding the carriage. She told Ronan and Asel that she would just be seeing them at the imperial capital for the exam. Asel waved his hand and also said their farewells towards her. And while all of these were happening, Ronan was lost in thought. In his mind, he now had trained his weakened body and all he needed to do next was to study. All of these things were not included in his previous life, but doing all of these preparations didn't feel really bad. This right here was the start of his new destiny. After coming back home, Ronan's days were spent like usual, but somehow slightly different, because unlike his previous life, he would now always have his meals with his sister Iril. This guy would also eat every meal until his belly burst. He was just enjoying each time that he had missed in his previous life, and with all of the calories that he gained from eating a lot, he would just burn all of it by hunting monsters all around the village. This method really came handy because it increased his stamina and body's adaptability. Our MC had really come a long way since he got back in time. This one even resulted in extinguishing all of the monsters around the village. They all went completely extinct. After hunting, he also spent his time studying. This was something he wouldn't even think of doing when he was still just a soldier. Right now, he was still not sure if this will all be worth it, but he promised to do his best. A month had passed and the setting of this story had been finally reached. This magnificent place right here was called the Imperial Capital Balon, and the best educational institution of the whole empire was built in the center of this capital. The mini city of the White Tower. Asel was then seen standing in front of this huge building. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. It felt like it was just a dream. Today was the day they reached the inside of this place. The Frieren Academy. This one was still amazed by the sight he was seeing. He confirmed the writings that he had read about this city being a work of art by itself. And while he was still in awe, someone cut his daydreaming off. And you guys all knew who this guy was. This one even told Asel to stop showing off that he was a country bumpkin and to just go inside. Asel was glad to see this familiar face again, but he then noticed something. He can't help to notice that Ronan had this different look and aura right now. In just a month, our main character has grown a lot stronger. Ronan had enough of these things and gave Asel a warning. They should just go and keep walking. And while Ronan was about to enter the academy, he remembered someone from his past and wondered if that certain person was also here now as well. The one he was thinking of was a sword saint named Shalipan. This guy right here was representing a renowned swordsmanship clan, Grangsha. Shalipan was also considered to be the strongest in the empire. Our MC thought that since Shalipan was also around his age, he might meet that guy here. But since he was still not sure, he would just leave these things to fate. Asel then interrupted his thoughts and asked if Ronan had brought that something. The one Asel was referring to was the feather that our MC plucked out from the bird that they had saved that night. That thing was supposed to help them find the owner of the bird. This guy then brought the feather out and thought that they should go and meet the owner first before heading towards the examination area. Ronan then noticed that the feather was pointing upwards, and that only meant one thing. The one they are supposed to meet lives at the top of this building. Meanwhile, inside the top floor of this building, someone was whining about his work of becoming a professor. This certain someone had the bird that Ronan and Asel saved that night placed on his shoulder. The bird also started chirping. The bird seemed to notice that its savior had finally reached the capital, and its owner was this Ware Leon, Varen Fanasier. He was also Filian zoology professor. Varen was just about to open the windows to let some air in as he thought that he would like the room to have some fresh air when the savior of the bird comes in. But something didn't feel right. As he was about to open the door, Ronan's face greeted Varen. This scene clearly shocked the hell out of this professor. But Ronan noted that this beastman dude was the owner of Blue Eye. And because this was really an unexpected way of meeting each other, The roar of the werelion professor was heard all over the academy. Frieren started trembling in fear. He didn't expect someone to come into his room using the windows. He asked Ronan to reveal his identity immediately. These two then made themselves comfortable inside. Ronan whined because the voice of the werelion was just too loud. It almost made him deaf. As for Estelle, he was still out of breath from climbing the top floor. Frieren was still scared, but he asked these strangers if they were after his blue bird, which was named Marpus. But upon looking at them carefully, he noticed the feather that our MC was holding. This guy's face then lightened up as he realized the identity of his sudden visitors. These two were the heroes that saved Marpus from the poachers that night. Our werelion professor then started apologizing for behaving that way in front of his awaited guests. He kept on doing this until Ronan told him to just stop and forget what happened. Our MC even blamed their way of climbing the tower to Estelle. Turns out, they have used Estelle's telekinesis ability to float and make a shortcut. As this one was about to reveal that it was really Ronan's idea, his face was smudged to prevent him from telling the whole story. Ronan then changed the subject. He told Frieren that he didn't expect to see a werelion, a rare werehuman type, to be the owner of the blue bird. On top of that, this guy was even a professor. Frieren then returned the favor and said that he was also not expecting the heroes of Marpus to be applicants of Frieren Academy. He added that if he had known about this, he would have made a recommendation letter to make their lives easier. But our MC was really not paying attention to this. Instead, he came in here because of something he needed to ask Frieren. Ronan brought the purple thing that he pooped out last time. This statement confused Frieren, but as he got a closer look towards the said poop, he figured that this thing right here was a dream bird egg. Frieren started to feel amazed as he held the egg. Ronan thought that this was just a normal egg from the bird. The professor then explained that this egg right here was not an ordinary egg. This is a dream egg. And the most interesting thing about this one was that no one has an idea on what's going to hatch from this egg. He further explained that if this was just an ordinary egg, it was natural that a bird would be watched on it. But in this case, it was different. A dream egg would be depending on the environment surrounding it, as it will absorb unique mana in order for it to be hatched. Legends say that in an area of lava, a phoenix wrapped in flames will hatch from the egg. And if it has absorbed mana in a monster's nest, a new form of monster would come out. There were also some circumstances where it won't take the form of a bird at all. Frieren then added that he could still predict what creature will be coming out from the egg by observing the mana from it. But he emphasized that this one was kinda unique. The types of mana that were inside this one were countless and in great numbers. It even had these rainbow colors in it. And as for the moment, Frieren wouldn't be able to know what creature will be hatched in it. Ronan became confused from the amount of information he got from the professor. He then commented that this one was putting such meaning into a mere egg. Our MC's attention was then shifted to Marpus. He asked this bird why he would lay an egg like this and then leave it to his care. In Ronan's mind, he had never seen a bird so shameless like this one. As for Frieren, he was about to ask something important. He revealed that he wanted Ronan to keep looking after the egg. This guy didn't expect it, but he really didn't mind keeping it. It was also revealed that this egg was really precious. A dream bird only lays one egg in its lifetime. So apparently, this was Marpus's next generation. But Frieren thought that this was really not surprising, as this one laid its egg in front of its heroes. He knew that this one felt something special towards Ronan. And since this bird has been Frieren's friend all his life, he wanted to respect the decision of Marpus. Ronan was then given the responsibility of keeping this one. He then wondered what creature could come out from it. These two then stood up and were about to leave as the time for the examination was coming closer. Frieren then told them to wait for a moment. All this time, he was thinking of something to give to these two as his thanks for saving Marpus. And he just thought of something that would be helpful. This professor then took out and showed this paper that looked really old. Ronan and Estelle didn't expect to receive such a thing from Frieren. After a while, the two had left the building of Frieren. They also went towards this building, which was where the practical testing hall was. This was Galelian Castle's main building. Inside this one, all the applicants gathered at the waiting room. The facilitator then confirmed that applicant number 111 has ended. There were still a lot of hopefuls waiting for their turn. Some of them were even praying before entering the examination hall. As for the next guy that would take the practical exam, it was evident that he was still nervous. A huge hall was waiting at the back of these doors. And of course, our MC was also present in this area. After applicant 112, he will be the one who's next. Ronan was already bored waiting for this long queue. He even commented that they were making him wait for too long now. The person who was beside him was none other than this blonde beach, Maria. She was also still waiting for her turn. Ronan then asked why she was wearing this kind of outfit. This one boastingly told him that Frieren Academy is a private academy which all nobles attend, so she paid attention to her clothes. She was already hoping to find a wealthy customer for their merchant business, so preparing like this wouldn't be really in vain. Maria then sighed as she was expecting to see SL here. But the magic testing hall was in a different building than them. After a few moments, applicant number 112 was already done with his practical exam. The facilitator then looked for the next applicant. Ronan knew that it was his turn and he quickly stood up. Maria told him not to be nervous and just to do his best. She also playfully warned him that if he fails, she won't let her off the hook. Ronan said his goodbyes and thanked her for her ironic, heartfelt support. But before entering the room, he turned around and told Maria that he'll be back. Inside the practical exam room, there were different banners that represent different organizations inside the academy. Our MC quickly fixed his gaze towards the people that were also inside the room. These 5 experts right here were the Frieren professors that would determine if the applicants really have what it takes to be a student of this academy. Ronan thought that they all looked like ordinary people, but there's one person that was notable among them. And it was none other than the old man in the middle. This is the headmaster of Frieren and his name is Krava Kratier. He is also an archmage. Aside from him, there's also this lady that caught the attention of Ronan. He thought that he had never felt this kind of vigor from anyone since his past life. This one is the swordsmanship instructor, Nabiros. She's also the Grand Sword Saint. After assessing the instructors, Ronan introduced himself. The professors also did the same thing. Krava then revealed the instructions for the exam. All Ronan needed to do was to attack the magically engineered dummy that was in front of him and demonstrate any techniques that he had learned. Ronan then prepared himself and told the professors that what he was about to do was nothing special. This one was just planning to do a fast cut. His statement confused the professors because usually the students would show something that allows them to use mana. The other professors then started to laugh. They even said that there's always one applicant that was like this. One of them also commented that this was just to be expected, especially if the applicant was from a faraway country. This dummy looked like a normal one, but the truth is, it has the ability to withstand aura. The regeneration of this thing was also fast. In short, this training dummy was a product of precise magical engineering. These two then whispered to each other that even the genius Shalipan barely left a trace of his sword against the training dummy. Krava got embarrassed by the way these ones were acting. They were even boldly saying these things even though the applicant was already in front of them. And now, this old man hopes that Ronan will do something that would prove them all wrong. In his perspective, our MC was already positioned and stood in front of the training dummy. But something felt different. Krava wondered how this young man right here had this amount of vigor with him. In a swift second, Ronan had made his move. What he did felt like the time momentarily stopped. One clean cut towards the training dummy. The force of the attack even reached someone. Nabiros felt something and it made her startled. As for our MC, he was already done showing his skills. He then notified all the professors that he was done and that's all he wanted to show them. The other professors then laughed and belittled this one. They noted that a one normal cut wouldn't really be enough to pass. This blonde professor even tried to get the approval of the headmaster. But Krava was already in a state of disbelief. The old man was already sweating in his place and his eyes were still fixed on Ronan. Instructor Nabiros then suddenly placed her leg at the table. This shocked the other professors. In a blink of an eye, the sword saint disappeared from her position. She had headed in front of Ronan and had this kind of menacing expression. Her blade was about to hit our MC. With all her might, she tried to stop her impending attack. Ronan just stood there like this was nothing. Our MC then told her that she had scared him. As for Nabirose, she was now asking the identity of Ronan. She also had this serious expression as she asked where Ronan learned that swordsmanship. These two were still standing in the middle of the room. Her question confused Ronan, so Nabirose changed her question. She asked if Ronan was able to see her movements and our MC told her yes. They were even amazing at that. Ronan explained that with her position from the table, it would be difficult to unsheath her sword. But when she reached his position, she had already swung her sword 3 times. Nabirose then confirmed that he was right. She swung her sword 3 times. Just like what Ronan had shown them against the training dummy. The demonstration that Ronan did a while ago was just too arrogant in front of the professors. Turns out, Nabirose already knew this would happen by the time Ronan positioned himself in front of the training dummy. His movement looked like he just did one clean cut, but the truth was he had already attacked the training dummy 3 times. On top of that, Ronan had purposely slowed his last attack so that the other professors would catch up on what's really happened. Ronan, being considerate towards the professors, had really offended Nabirose. And while the confrontation was happening, Krava kept himself silent. Meanwhile, these theory professors were still confused on what's happening. These sons of beaches should not have been professors in the first place. Ronan then looked down as he thought that this was all just a misunderstanding. He slowed his last attack because he thought that this sword wouldn't be able to withstand impact against the training dummy. But judging from the mood of Nabirose and the other professors, no one would ever believe him even if he would defend himself. The sword saint still had her blade pointed towards Ronan. After a few seconds, the blade was removed. Nabirose then sheathed her sword once again while walking back to the table. She also told Ronan that she will be remembering his name. With this kind of intimidating expression, she claimed that she will be teaching Ronan herself. Nabirose then sat down again while still being annoyed by what happened. Professor Kraven noted what she said in his mind. He knew that Nabirose was just acting this way, but deep inside, she was already planning on making Ronan as her disciple. And since he still has to stay sharp in front of this applicant, Krava started complimenting what he had demonstrated. The old man noted that it was really a good effort in a lot of ways. He then proceeded to move on to the next part of the exam. Krava was now about to ask him a simple question. There's no right or wrong answer. All Ronan needed to do was to answer honestly. And as for the question, Krava asked our MC what he was wishing to learn inside Frieren Academy. Ronan froze in his spot as he really didn't expect it. It was then evident in his eyes that he had just remembered something in his past, and that was the scene where all of his comrades were piled in one place. This was when he realized that he was now alone. This memory then gave our MC a definite answer that he had been wanting to achieve, and that was to learn to not have any regrets in life. Ronan's answer left the headmaster in shock. This also filled the whole room with an awkward silence. After a while, all of the professors then realized something. They then instructed Ronan to now go as his entrance exam was done. Our MC followed their command and shut the door. Krava was still wondering about the answer that Ronan gave to them. This kind of thing that he wanted to learn was a really tricky one. The old man then started to laugh as he found himself thinking of some ways to teach that said information to Ronan. Meanwhile, the other professors were still protesting as they had no idea what Ronan had done a while ago. But this was clearly not a deception. The training dummy that had been strengthened by magic by the professors had started to crumble down. Around the neck area of the training dummy, a cut could be seen. This right here was the proof that Ronan had this extraordinary talent. These two sons of a bee then had their eyes widened as they found this thing out. The head of the training dummy had completely fallen off and fell on the ground. The student that managed to achieve this feat was still standing in front of the door. Ronan was still caught by the swordsmanship that Nabirose had shown to him. He was now wondering if he could have beaten this lady right here with the strength of his past self. In his mind, he thought that he had already experienced all sorts of fights in his past life. But in front of Nabirose, Ronan felt like he was insignificant. This reminded him that he really still has a long way to go. Our MC then chuckled as he thought that he really made the right choice of entering the academy. And this was all thanks to his captain that gave him another chance in life. Ronan then started walking. He got this smile on his face as he knew that he will definitely be able to learn a lot more things here. Our MC then proceeded towards the venue of the written exam. He was quite confident because he was able to memorize everything the whole month. He even thought that entering the fill-in academy was really easy peasy lemon squeezy. But after taking the exam, this was his current situation now. Ronan looked like he just went on an unwinnable battle. Maria and Estelle were now standing in front of him as he was being consumed by hopelessness. He commented that he just messed everything up. Turns out, our MC was only able to answer half of the questions in the exam even though Maria had included everything inside the books that she gave to them. And that was because he only reviewed one book out of all of that was placed inside his bag. Ronan got so focused that he forgot that he still had a lot of information to read. Estelle was now blaming himself for not checking on Ronan the whole month they were reviewing. Meanwhile, Mara had this annoyed face because she thought that Ronan was really stupid. She finally figured out the reason why Ronan had been acting like this since he took the written exam. But she exclaimed that it was still not too late as the results of the examinations were still not announced. Maria tried cheering Ronan up. Being gloomy and all wouldn't really help him in his current situation. She then revealed that the scores in practical skills way much bigger than the written one, and after a few seconds, the hall near them started having this bright blue light. A magic circle also appeared below. One of the guys then exclaimed that the results were finally out. This caught these three's attention. A huge magical board then appeared in front of all the applicants. The names of the guys that passed the entrance exam were written on it. Estelle and Mara looked at it and didn't expect for the results to come out this early. As for the status of their exam, Estelle was placed in rank 12 in the practical exam. He also ranked 1 in the written test examination. Meanwhile, Mara ranked 9th in both practical and written exams. They then looked at each other as they realized the meaning of this. Mara can't help but to blush because this meant that she just passed the examination. The two of them then started celebrating. They were now officially students of the Fill-In Academy. Mary even noted that Estelle really aced the written exam. Estelle looked at the rankings closer and he noticed that he was also tied with 2 more students. But Mary continued teasing him as this achievement was not a simple one. This blonde waifu then turned her attention towards Ronan. She wanted to ask if our MC had seen his name on the board. In their perspective, this guy just stood there and was not even moving. The expression on his face was also not clear. Ronan then started to speak. He looked like his soul just left his body. He commented that it was just to be expected that his name will not be there after he messed up his written exams. Mara can't believe this. Out of all people, she had expected this extraordinary young guy to pass. This one then tried opening the eyes of Ronan more properly. She told him that he should look closely. But Ronan's hopes were already gone as he told them that he already checked all the corners of the board. As Maria was scolding our MC for not passing, a quick fireball from the sky was already falling towards their direction. As the fireball hit something on the ground, all of the attention of the applicants were then shifted towards it. Ronan wondered what all these ruckus were. And Mary knew this and she told him that this was the final firework of congratulations for the admission test. Their eyes widened as they saw a mythical beast in front of them. This right here was called the Glory Phoenix. This creature then closed its wings, and after a second, it started casting another set of fireballs. One of them was heading towards Ronan. But he was just too occupied to notice that he was now about to get hit. A huge explosion was then seen along the area. The fireball didn't really hit our MC, but rather, it was an announcement for everyone. The overall department of martial arts second place was none other than Ronan. He ranked first in practical exams and ranked 5,712th in written exams. These two had these bewildered expressions as they were still processing what they were seeing right now. Maria and Estelle then started hugging Ronan as they celebrated him being the second place. Both of these beaches then praised our MC. They thought that even if he was way too low in the written exam, his skills never failed him. Mara commented that this was to be expected as she already knew that Ronan was a genius. But as he was glad to see his rank on the board, he remembered something crucial. Being ranked first in the practical exam meant that he had just beaten a certain someone that was expected to rank once. Our MC knew that with that person's personality, he would not be quiet about it, and that certain someone that he was talking about was already behind them. A guy was slowly walking towards their direction and commented that Ronan seemed to be really the first in practical exams. Our MC quickly felt the ominous aura that was starting to envelop the area. This guy right here had this respectable and dignified aura with him. The one that approached Ronan was none other than the Sword Saint in his previous life. This one right here was Shalipan, the one destined to be the strongest swordsman in the whole empire. The fateful meeting of these two swordsmen that would soon shape the future of their world had finally happened. The other students of Frieren Academy who happened to be near the area were also amazed to see this man around the campus. This one right here was considered to be the Empire's rising star. Mara told Ronan that this mysterious man right here seemed to be wanting to talk to him. In SL's perspective, he noticed that the atmosphere around this guy seemed to be scary. Meanwhile, Ronan had this uneasy feeling with him. He knew that this meeting would really be bothersome for him. As far as he could remember, Shalipan can't stand anyone who's better than him at swordsmanship. And by the way he looked at our MC, this one still has that outrageous spirit. Ronan thought that he needed to avoid him as much as possible. So he started to act like he really didn't know that he ranked first in the practical exam. However, such a simplistic expression had no effect on Shalipan. He maintained an intense, unwavering gaze fixed on Ronan. Shalipan asked Ronan why he was lying about it. Our MC then sighed because he knew that he had been found out. He then started to talk his way out of it and told Shalipan to stop picking up fights. On top of that, Ronan claimed that this guy didn't have proof for his claims. And since our MC has mentioned that he needed proof, Shalipan held his sword. This was his way of showing it. In a blink of an eye, this guy managed to unsheath his sword and attack Ronan. Luckily, our MC blocked it with his sword as well. This one didn't think that this situation would escalate this quickly. Mary and SL couldn't do anything but to watch from a distance. Shalipan then started asking Ronan if this proof was enough. He claimed that if Ronan was not ranked once, he wouldn't be able to block that attack. The other students that were around the area panicked as they were now witnessing a simple fight. Shalipan now requested that Ronan demonstrate the skills that had defeated him. And meanwhile, our main character couldn't help but think that this Sword Saint was truly eccentric. Since he had no other choice but to fight, he then accepted his challenge. Ronan made his counterattack. His annoyed expression reflected back on the sword of Shalipan. Our MC then made a series of slashes. This was the same attack that he performed against the training dummy, and they were now heading towards Shalipan. The slashes were done in a swift movement, so it almost caught this one off guard. As for Shalipan's counterattack, he made one slash to deflect these ones. Ronan then told him that the attack was the same one he did in the practical exam. Shalipan was still speechless. Even though he managed to counter the attack, his arm was still trembling from its power. He then thought that it would really make sense to receive a good score out of that attack, but something was wrong. Shalipan didn't stop from talking and even moved his feet. This guy claimed that those slashes were not even enough to defeat him. Their swords then clashed again. Ronan was now pleading for this guy to relax for a bit. But Shalipan insisted on Ronan to show his real skills. This one was just too annoyed that he couldn't accept that someone was really stronger than him. These two then started exchanging blows. Every attack could even end the fight in an instant. Ronan thought that this was the reason why he didn't want to meet Shalipan. This one too obsessed on becoming the strongest swordsman in the Empire. And by the looks of it, Ronan knew that sooner or later, Shalipan would start manipulating his aura. That kind of skill level was still too much for our MC. He then remembered the technique that the Sword Saint had used in his previous life, and that was called the Tempest Sword. This swordsmanship was one of the most dangerous techniques he knew back then. In his current strength, he can't handle that. So he suddenly turned around and started running. This action then made Sholeipen more furious. He can't believe that the one who has beaten him in the practical exam would just turn his back during a fight. Our MC then did an unexpected thing. He wrapped his arms around Asel. Sholeipen kept on following him, so Ronan had planned to use Asel to be his shield. This guy then started to panic. He was not expecting his friend to be risking his life. Sholeipen then shouted that hiding behind a lady was really a cowardly act, and someone can call themselves a knight if they have done that. Asel then claimed that he was a guy. And while this was happening, Ronan had this creepy expression. He then told his opponent that he would always be right in one thing, and that was Sholeipen will always protect his way of being a knight. After saying that, Ronan launched his unexpected attack. He was able to land a punch on Sholeipen while hiding behind Asel. It was a clean hit. This guy was taken aback from the damage he got. Sholeipen was not able to maintain his balance and it made him kneel. Ronan then turned towards his friends and told them that this was now the right time. Our MC shouted that they should now run. This one froze as he couldn't believe what he just heard. Sholeipen still tried to stop them from escaping, but it was all too late. Ronan and his friends dashed off. After a few seconds, a guard came in as someone reported that a fight had broken out in this place. He then froze in his tracks as he saw the ones that were involved in this fight. The guard saw that the dignified and respected Sholeipen was kneeling on the ground. He then immediately approached this guy while asking if he was okay. He also asked Sholeipen to describe the ones that attacked him so they could find them immediately. But Sholeipen didn't like this idea. He also didn't want to be treated as someone from nobility. He claimed that he was just now an applicant for the academy. This one then stood up and told everyone that they really didn't need to worry about this. What happened was a fair fight between two swordsmen. Sholeipen claimed that he could take care of himself while dusting off the dust. But while doing this, something caught his attention. He saw that there's a crack on his sword. It was kinda impossible because this one was even crafted from the highest grade mithril. Sholeipen then recalled the attack that Ronan had demonstrated. He thought that these were just ordinary attacks, but he was clearly mistaken. This one then smiled while thinking that this development was interesting. He claimed that from now on, he will now remember the name Ronan. The next day, at the outskirts of the capital named Shimo Forest, footsteps were being heard around the area, and these were from Ronan and Asel. Our MC was now holding a map and they seemed to be finding something. While catching his breath, Asel asked Ronan if they should be really doing this exploration right now. The thing that was on Asel's mind was the incident yesterday where Ronan punched the heir of the Grancha family. Our MC's punch was just so strong that it almost broke the nose of Sholeipen. This red-haired guy was now wondering what if Sholeipen retaliates. Ronan then told him to stop thinking about it as he knew that Sholeipen was a good person. As far as he can remember, this one was just crazy about swords. But deep inside, he upholds principle and trust. He's also everyone's role model who protects the weak. In short, this guy was the epitome of upperfoot nobility. Ronan had already expected that Sholeipen would have told the guards that what happened was a fair fight. Asel was now starting to calm down as he realized that what Ronan had said may be true. This was also the time when Ronan told him that they were now in the place that Professor Frieren had talked about. A bright and shining blue water then greeted these two. Ronan smiled and shouted in excitement that this place was the Fernardo Spring. The mana that hovers around the world for an unknown reason and gathers in a single spot to form a puddle is called mana vein. With this thing's existence, mana would be absorbed by its surrounding matter. For instance, an ordinary rock that came across a mana vein would turn into a highest grade mineral. A regular weed could also transform into a miraculous medicinal herb. The Fernardo Spring is a rare place where mana veins flow into the water. Ronan claimed that the value of this water would be astronomical, so people who could discover this would want to monopolize it. Looking back, Ronan thought that Professor Frieren was really generous for him to give them a map towards this unknown place. And all that just for the reason of hatching a single dream egg. Asel then tried touching the water and he claimed that this was the first time sensing this much concentrated man in one place. He even thought that if he would be training around this area, he could cast magic spells that's stronger than his usual power. Asel then noticed the egg that was inside Ronan's pocket was glowing again. This phenomenon had happened before. The egg was really absorbing magic power around the spring at an incredible speed. Ronan then told Asel that he wouldn't really notice as he can't see or sense mana. He then remembered Maria, who was not able to come with them because she was really busy with the merchantry. Asel agreed with this, but he felt like something was wrong. He then asked Ronan if he was not feeling something strange around the area. Asel recalled what Professor Frieren had said. This place was almost filled with pure mana, and they have expected this spring to be surrounded by lots of fantastical species. But right now, they have not seen even a single creature. Ronan was startled upon realizing this crucial thing. The thing that really bothered these two was that they were not even hearing even a single animal sound around the area. Our MC then took a deep breath. He thought that he had been really complacent. Ronan then started to tell Asel that things were now getting out of hand. He even asked why these kinds of things happen wherever he goes. This guy then warned Asel to always be ready. And that was because he had inhaled the smell of blood. Not far from them, corpses of animals were already piling up. The individuals responsible for these atrocious deeds were these enigmatic figures. Asel became confused about what Ronan just told him. But this claim really made sense based on the evidence that they got. Ronan had this intimidating expression on his face as he figured that someone managed to come in this place before them. The two then continued talking about the unwanted visitors of this place. But little did they know, a purple arrow was already being pointed at them. Turns out, there were now 5 masked men that had their positions ready. One move and they will surely fire the arrows. After detecting the presence of Ronan and Asel, the arrows flew and were now heading towards our MC. Ronan just stood there as he waited for the right moment. At the very last second, he held his sword and was about to draw it. He then made this huge slash that protected him from the arrows. He was also able to cut all of them in half. Our MC then noted the appearance of these arrows. He figured that these were really familiar, and after thinking about it for a while, he remembered where he had seen these arrows. In his past life, he shared a campsite with the other men who had joined the disciplinary squad, and one of the guys that was with him introduced the same arrow that he encountered today. This guy with the red hair claimed that these arrows were special and a single one could blow up the heads of the orcs. That same guy even challenged Ronan, who was their captain that time, to test the said arrows. Turns out, the guy with the red hair belonged to a poaching group before joining the disciplinary squad. This one even claimed that these arrows were used hundreds of times over by one elite member of their group. This elite member had this nickname called Caliboro's Bloodhound. Back to their prison time, Ronan was kind of annoyed finding out that he was about to encounter the same poaching group again. On top of that, these guys right here were a lot stronger than the previous two. Our MC then sighed as he thought that he really didn't have any choice for this one. He then commanded Asel to hide somewhere safe and to be careful not to become a porcupine from the arrows that their opponents would fire at them. Asel was then left there standing alone as Ronan told him that he would just do something for a bit. And as soon as he said this statement, our MC rushed forward, eager to defeat these said organization once again. The guys that launched the arrows were then wondering how a single guy managed to deflect all of that with just one slash. This one added that the arrows were even infused with mana, but their chit-chat was about to get disrupted as Ronan was quickly hopping between the branches of the trees. Our MC was just like a predator now that was coming closer towards his prey. The guy with purple hair noticed the presence of Ronan and told his comrades to disperse immediately. Their plan was to surround our MC and attack. Ronan heard this command and thought that the leader of this group was quick with his decision-making. He then noted that maybe this one was stronger than the ones he faced before. In his perspective, the masked men have started their plan, and Ronan knew that this was not really advantageous for him. He then shouted towards his opponents to stop on their tracks. Our MC claimed that he was one of them. This statement caught the attention of the leader of the group and asked what Ronan was talking about. Ronan then smiled and told them that they may have not heard of the important news yet. This guy just introduced himself as one of the youngest bloodhounds from the Dama's branch. He even used the name Ahiu. If you guys could remember, This was the name of the giant beings that he defeated in his previous life. But this introduction seemed to be really effective as the masked men approached him and tried to confirm if he was really telling the truth. The leader of the group then claimed that there's no way that a young guy like Ronan could become a bloodhound. He would have believed it more if our MC had introduced himself with a low-level affiliation. Ronan then chuckled and told this one that he could easily confirm his ranking by asking the wolf of their branch. But before the leader could do this, our MC gave him a warning. He told him that questioning someone's identity that was ranked higher than him was really a bad habit. This statement made the leader speechless. But at the same time, he was already fuming with anger. The purple-haired guy then told Ronan to not underestimate him in front of his subordinates. He clutched the collar of our MC and warned him that he'd take action if this behavior persisted. Ronan then playfully teased him further, stating that assaulting people was one of his own vices as well. And since the situation was now escalating quickly, one of his subordinates then stopped their leader. This one claimed that their leader couldn't really rule out the possibility that Ronan was telling the truth. Inside the Calaboro's organization, they follow this kind of ranking system. Those grunts that usually do the basic tasks were called feral dogs, and the ones that were above them were the bloodhounds. As for the leaders of each branch, they were called wolves. Our MC knew this information because he used to fight against Calaboro in his previous life. He also figured that feral dogs wouldn't really dare to hurt someone that was higher in ranking than them. This guy then further suggested that they should just go and confirm this information to their captain first. Because if this young man was telling the truth, hurting him would create some feud against the other branches. But as they were discussing this matter over, another guy appeared from the bushes and complained about the ruckus. His voice caught everyone's attention and they all turned towards the source of the voice. This bald man right here was called VM. He's also the Demire's branch wolf. That meant that this was their real leader. The purple-haired guy then smiled as soon as he saw their captain. He claimed that his timing was really perfect. All the information that Ronan had said was then really towards VM. And meanwhile, the other 4 feral dogs kept their guards up against our MC, and since this was a trivial matter that could have these grunts be in trouble, they became distracted. Ronan didn't expect that he would meet someone with a wolf ranked here. Our MC smiled as he realized that it seemed that every single one of them was now present. The bald man then started talking. He tried confirming if his name was really Ahayut from Dama's branch. Ronan confirmed this, but VM thought that it was kinda strange. He recalled that the organization had already decided that this side of the mountain now belonged to the Demire branch. This guy then smiled and told everyone that he wasn't really informed about this information because of one thing. And that was because he was really not a bloodhound and he's not Ahayut. This revelation then made VM furious. But before they could all be wary of the presence of Ronan once again, a powerful slash had met the bodies of the feral dogs. These guys had no chance of dodging this attack. And all the while, Ronan teased them that he just made that name up. The ones that were left were the purple-haired guy and VM. And before they could even get their weapons up, Ronan already appeared in front of them. Our MC was even smiling as he never thought that his acting skills would be enough to fool these ones. VM was then caught with our MC's plan. In a swift moment, Ronan had defeated one of the strongest guys of Calaboro. The other one couldn't do anything but stare at his leader's demise. It took this one a few more seconds to process all that's happened to his group. The purple-haired guy then started trembling as he heard the voice of Ronan. Our MC reminded him about what he had said a while ago. The ending for the conceited ones will really be the worst. An attack was then performed and it made the purple-haired guy look at his fingers. But they were already falling off. He then screamed in pain and the shock was evident in his eyes. This one kneeled as he mourned for his fallen fingers. Ronan just stood there like nothing happened. Our MC then told him to get a hold of himself. He brought out this piece of paper and told the guy to take a look at it. Ronan commanded him to create a map that would help him locate all the branches of the Calaboro's organization. He even had this grin while asking the feral dog if he didn't want to do this task. Our MC made it clear that if this purple-haired feral dog was not useful to him anymore, There's really no reason for him to keep him alive. The grunt claimed that he was willing to do everything, but the problem is that he didn't have anything to draw a map with. But Ronan responded that he just made him a pen. The pen that he was referring to was the one that was on this guy's right hand. These were red pens. A few moments then passed by. The feral dog was really able to draw every single one of the bases of Caliboro throughout the mountain. Ronan even commended him and told him that this one had a talent, and since he was done with his task, this one asked Ronan if he was now free to go as promised. Our MC then put the map back in his pocket and confirmed this feral dog's question. A red streak of slash was then seen in front of this guy. This one parted into two like a block of wood being chopped. Ronan sealed the question of this grunt with this kind of cold expression. After a while, Ronan met with SL once again. A puking sound could be heard along their area, and that was from SL. This one was not able to handle the scene that they saw in the middle of the forest. Ronan asked him to stop overreacting. Before they came in here, our MC had already warned his friend about it. SL claimed that he prepared himself, but this was just too much. The scene that induced nausea in him was a massive stack of animal carcasses. SL asked Ronan if this was all the Caliboro organization's doing. While looking at the dead animals, our MC confirmed this, and even added that it was a crime to even let those guys leave. SL tried protesting about this idea, but Ronan cut him off. He told him that even the government would want those guys to be killed. Ronan was then caught in deep thought. He remembered Professor Frieren and figured that if the werelion saw this, it would surely break his heart. Among the species that were killed were the ones that looked like Marpas. This was just really a sad scene. Ronan was about to tell SL that they should now go back to the capital, but the dream egg in his pocket started moving. Our MC wondered what could be the problem. This guy then decided to take the dream egg out to check its status. Meanwhile, SL tried calling Ronan. He was now staring at something. SL pointed out something while his finger was already trembling in fear. He then asked Ronan what the hell was happening in front of them. Our MC's eyes showed a state of shock as soon as he saw the one that SL was referring to. The blood of the animals that were killed started to float. It was like the blood were forming some kind of huge mana vein. This then continued for a few seconds, but then, suddenly, the flow of the blood became more violent and aggressive. It was as if it was rushing towards something. SL was already panicking, but Ronan stepped in front and prepared himself. He thought that this was kind of a mysterious attack, and because he needed to take a grip on his sword, our MC accidentally dropped the dream egg. This one didn't fall on the ground, but instead, it emitted this bright purple light. Ronan became more confused as he saw this. The blood that formed a huge mana vein then started surrounding the dream egg. Our MC then figured that the dream egg was absorbing this pure mana. The absorption grew faster, and the light that the egg was emitting almost blinded SL and Ronan. SL tried asking our MC what's happening, but Ronan told him that he didn't have any idea as well. But this guy smiled as he was sure about one thing. He claimed that whatever creature that was inside this dream egg was not an average being. And after a few more minutes, the absorption was done, and this was the last drop of blood. The dream egg has finally finished whatever it was doing. These two were still standing in front of it and wondered if that was it. Ronan was just about to comment that it didn't change the egg even a bit until something happened. The dream egg was now starting to have cracks around it. It then started to wiggle, causing the cracks to spread further. These two had their breaths held as they knew that the egg was now about to get hatched. Inside the egg's perspective, the first thing it saw was the face of Ronan. This guy had this kind of smile because he got too excited to see what's inside. The creature then came out and rushed towards our MC. Whatever this thing was, it just bumped on Ronan's face. This was a greeting that no one expected. Ronan had his nose almost broken, but still wondered what creature hatched from the egg. The first thing he saw was these dark galaxy-colored wings. Its whole body was then revealed. This was the creature that was inside the dream egg. It really is a mythical creature. But no matter how they looked at this creature, it didn't look like Marpas. As they inspected further, SL commented that this one looked more like a dragon. Ronan asked him if he was sure, and Asel told him that this creature was just like what he saw in books. Our MC became confused as he recalled Marpez's characteristics. He wondered what kind of mana this egg just absorbed to become like this. Nonetheless, the two were glad because this creature was just too cute, but the mood changed as soon as Ronan remembered the greeting that the dragon had done with him. This one then closed its eyes and a magic circle appeared in front of it. A mysterious force then rushed towards Ronan, and all of a sudden, he noticed that the injury he got from the dragon was now gone. Asel was amazed as they found out that this baby dragon could have healing magic. On top of that, Asel commented that this dragon seemed to have a liking towards our MC. Ronan was also glad because this creature seemed to have more secret abilities. Asel then suggested that they should give it a name because they can't keep calling it Dream Bird anymore. While looking at this baby dragon, Ronan wondered what would be the perfect name for this little guy. Before our MC could think of something, the baby dragon's face changed. It was like it felt something near them. The dragon then started flying in the opposite direction. The speed it had was just too remarkable. Asel wondered where this creature was going, but Ronan was just smiling. He didn't expect that the baby dragon was also able to sense the presence that was observing them. A running footsteps was then heard. A mysterious guy was already running for his life. This one was an errand boy from Demire branch and his name was Balraus. Balraus gritted his teeth as he wondered what the hell was that creature he just saw. Apparently, this guy went on an errand, but when he went back to meet his comrades, he saw that they were all killed. He also saw the absorption of blood and the hatching of the dream egg. And right now, the mysterious creature that he saw was chasing him. Balraus turned around to check. He then panicked once again as this one was still behind him and it was quickly catching up. Unfortunately, Balraus happened to trip on the root of this tree. As he fell down, he knew that his life was about to be over. He turned around to check the creature once more. In his shock, this one started absorbing his blood, and it was coming from the cut he got from falling on the ground. Balraus was now screaming for someone's help. He didn't know what to do next. Luckily, he heard someone's footsteps. A voice then commanded the baby dragon to stop. It then turned its head around and saw that it was Ronan and Asel. Our MC commented that Sita should now stop or else it might kill this guy. This was also the time when Asel found out that Ronan was now naming this baby dragon as Sita. Ronan asked Sita if it liked its new name, and all the while, Balraus was just there trembling. This one then wondered if the young guy in front of him was the owner of this mysterious creature, but his thoughts were cut off as Ronan started to speak. Our MC asked Balraus if he was alright. This guy started thanking Ronan for saving his life. He even kneeled as a sign of respect. Then, this one stopped talking. He figured something was off because this was the first time they had met, and yet, Ronan already knew his name. Balraus asked him that question, but it was just answered with a sword near his neck. Ronan claimed that he really didn't need to know how he knew his name. This guy then kept quiet as he figured that Ronan was serious about what he said. In our MC's mind, he was not expecting to meet his old comrade like this. Balraus was the same guy from the poaching organization that introduced the arrows in his previous life. Sooner or later, this guy will be promoted and will become a bloodhound. A talkative one at that. Hearing Ronan's comment, Balraus became confused. He claimed that he was just an errand boy. And as soon as Ronan found out about this, he smiled as this was just a perfect. He told Balraus that there's something he needed him to do. And with this kind of creepy smile, he claimed that this thing was not really a favor or anything optional. Later that night, Asel and Ronan were back at the capital. Our MC was even holding several gold coins right now. He claimed that their short trip was better than what he thought it should be. Asel also agreed with this as some of the things that happened caught them by surprise. Back when they were still near the lake, Ronan managed to secure some of the pure mana vein and put it in a bottle. Then, the two went towards the new place where the father of Manhwa was. They wanted to have the pure mana vein to be appraised, and it ended up being bought at a hefty price. Back to the current situation, Asel figured that money won't really be a problem for them. Ronan agreed with this and they wanted to thank Professor Frieren for this opportunity. By the time they went to see him, they found out that the professor was out for a business trip. They also missed the chance of introducing Sita to him. But all things went according to Ronan's plan, especially the one where he got a map for the other branches of the poaching group. On top of that, he also gained another pawn in the form of Balros. That guy will be busy for a while doing the thing that Ronan asked him to take care of. Our MC made sure that Balros would do his best to complete his secret mission because he scared him a lot. Asel then asked Ronan what he would do about the money that he got right now. This one knew that the second best in the entrance exam will be exempted from paying tuition and even receives direct support from the academy. This was the first time our MC gave this a thought. He wondered what he could do about it. He also remembered that the entrance ceremony will be coming up soon. A few days later, at a carriage station in downtown Valen, this butler just greeted someone that looked like a lady. He informed her that they now reached their destination. This one had bright silver hair and beautiful eyes. This was also the first time she went inside the capital. The lady we were talking about was none other than Ronan's older sister, Earl. She went out of the carriage and checked the surroundings. She can't help but be amazed by this fresh view on her eyes. Our MC then greeted his sister and claimed that she must be tired from her trip. Ronan asked his sister if something notable happened back in their town while he was gone. Earl then returned the question, as she should be the one asking these things. Apparently, she was really shocked seeing a high-class carriage in front of their house. She wondered how her little brother managed to earn a lot of money to afford such a thing. After that, Earl did what sisters do best. She checked Ronan and asked why he was losing weight and if he was eating properly. Ronan told her that he was doing well, and that calmed her down. She was relieved upon hearing that. Something also got Earl's attention, and that was Sita. Our MC then introduced his new pet to his sister. He added that Sita has now started to travel with him because of certain circumstances. After the short reunion, Ronan told his sister that they now need to go as they have a lot of things to take care of. This confused Earl. She just got here and now Ronan was hurrying her up. But in the end, our MC assured her that these things were kinda important. Ronan told her that once he entered the academy, he would be really busy. They then went inside of one of the shops in the capital. Earl had this overwhelmed expression now, and she was asking Ronan if these were all real. Right now, our MC was sitting on this couch while waiting for his sister to pick any clothes that she wanted. Earl already knew that Ronan had earned a lot of money, but for her, this was still a little too much. As she came out of the fitting room, she had this beautiful and classy dress with her. She wondered how much this one would cost. Meanwhile, Ronan was busy ordering around. He just bought a whole lot of things for his sister, and he inquired if these things could all be delivered. Earl was starting to freak out as she turned her head around and found a whole pile of clothes. She didn't expect to receive this much. But as for Ronan, this was just his way of returning all the good deeds that her sister had done for him. Hearing this kind of mature thing from her younger brother gave Earl a momentarily proud moment. Tears even started forming on her eyes as she wondered when did Ronan had grown up this much. Earl then ran towards the door as she was shouting how proud she was about her brother. Ronan tried to stop her from doing this embarrassing thing. Meanwhile, the staff inside the store really found this situation adorable. They noted that these two siblings really have a good relationship. Earl asked our MC where they will be heading next, and Ronan told her sister that it was their time to go as he will still check to the nearby blacksmith to look for a new sword. Ronan was just about to tell her about the story of how he met this crazy swordsman, and when he opened the door, that swordsman was standing there. Shoipen greeted him and asked if he was now done shopping. Our MC turned his head around and it made him speechless for a second. This then freaked Ronan out. He didn't expect this one to appear right in front of him. He then asked Shoipen what he was doing there, and then this one answered that he just ordered a new sword within the vicinity, but he saw Ronan. He claimed that this was all coincidental, so he decided to wait for him. Shoipen also asked our MC to stop with the repulsive misunderstanding attitude, but Ronan was not convinced. He knew that Shoipen had what it takes to become a stalker. Our MC became more annoyed as he was about to show Shoipen what he did to his sword. The tension between these two was becoming more serious. They even were about to have a spar once again, but before they could draw their swords, Earl came in and stopped them. This one even scolded Ronan for using such foul language. Our MC tried defending himself by saying that Shalipan was the one who started this fight, but he was cut off. That's also the time when Shalipan found out that this lady that was standing in front of him was Ronan's older sister. After scolding Ronan, Earl apologized towards Shalipan. She also told this guy that Ronan has a foul mouth but he's a kind child. As Earl's face was revealed to this guy, he felt something magical. The heir to a grand and noble family, and known to be the Empire's rising star, depicted this moment like this. In his perspective, it was as if he had seen a goddess that descended from heaven. The future sword saint then blushed heavily. He was not able to control his admiration. A few seconds had already passed, and that was the only time Shalipan managed to get a hold on himself. Earl kept bowing her head and asking for forgiveness. Shalipan then claimed that this misunderstanding was from his own lack of discretion. He told Earl that she was not at fault. He even told her that everything that happened was his responsibility. Earl's face brightened up as she figured that this guy right here also has a kind heart. And since she was so happy that she met one of Ronan's friends, she accidentally held his hand and thanked Shalipan. What a lucky guy. While the two continued exchanging their kind remarks, Ronan was just there looking at them. He then noticed something interesting that made him wonder if what he was seeing was true. Apparently, Shalipan got so flustered that he even promised to replace our MC's sword. But the problem was that he was not carrying any gold with him at that time. This noble young guy then brought out this golden emblem. He revealed that this is his family's proof of identification. He gave this emblem to Earl and informed her that they could use this wherever she was in the Empire. Rowan was just there freaking out because this was really happening. On top of that, Shalipan also told them that if they were planning to buy a sword, they should go to the blacksmith on the western end of the street. He claimed that the shop carried a history of 500 years and they were the best in the whole empire. After that, Shalipan said his goodbyes and wished the two best of luck. All the while, he was still flustered. Rowan had this expression with him right now. He wondered if Shalipan had the slightest idea about what he was doing. He thought that with Grantia's family emblem, they could even buy multiple villages. Our MC kept watching Shalipan exit the shop with his awkward walk. He then wondered if this was the same sword saint he knew back in his previous life. The next day, it's time for Frieren Academy's entrance ceremony. All the students that passed the exam gathered right at the center of the plaza. The one that greeted them was none other than the headmaster of the academy, Krava. He told everyone that the freshmen in front of him were now officially the class 787. He introduced himself to everyone once again with this great smile as he was glad to see everyone today. Among the students that have amazing skills and proved their potential were these three. And Krava congratulated all of them. He also added that with their boundless talent, everything would be possible. On top of that, they will be guided with Frieren's prestigious education. Krava believed that all of them would soon be recorded in the Empire's history because of their upcoming achievements. Once again, the headmaster welcomed everyone. This is the class of 787, and all the while, Ronan was just there yawning. He thought that this was just too much for a welcoming remark. But as he thought about it, this wasn't really that bad because right now, his sister was watching him and it was clear that she's proud of him. After that, Krava smiled and flicked his fingers. A mysterious and colorful bright light then started to surround the students. Ronan, together with the other students, had their eyes widened as they noticed what was happening. A huge crack had appeared that seemed to have affected the whole space they were in. One of them even shouted that the sky was shattering. A bright light then enveloped everyone, and in a split second, all of the students were transferred into a different place. These ones were now standing in the middle of a huge coliseum. The people that were in their seats also started making noise and cheered them up. Ronan and SL noted that Krava was just something else. He teleported everyone with just a snap of his fingers. With this mysterious smile, the headmaster announced that they will now begin the meeting between the seniors and the juniors. The senior-junior meeting. This event occurs between incoming freshmen and the Year 2 seniors, as the location is where they meet each other for the first time. It was also known to be some kind of intense event between the two groups. This special fill-in event was outlined as both the first and second ranked students of the freshman batch will have to face one of the 4 top students of the sophomore batch, and each one of them has this different fighting style for the freshmen to choose into. Right now, Shalepen and Ronan were about to have a one-on-one spar on any of these unknown students. Krava then stepped in once again and explained the importance of this event. He claimed that with this kind of sparring, students will get to learn with each other, especially their strengths and weaknesses. This could also improve their relationship as juniors and seniors. It was also revealed that these duels were the students' chance to take their first step on becoming someone great, and as per their tradition, the freshmen will get to choose their opponent. They could also avoid the whole duel thing altogether. Krava then commanded that Ronan and Shalepen can now choose their opponent. Ronan got annoyed because the headmaster bothered with all that speech while this event was just really hazing for the new students. Among the potential opponents was this guy named Nasto. He's the ranked 1 sophomore that majored in martial arts, and the buffed guy beside him was Brown, and he ranked 1. As for the other 2, the guy's name was Karan and he's the rank 4, and the lady with orange hair was Irina, the third strongest among the sophomores. Ronan got awkwardly scared from Brown because he kept on shouting that he wanted to fight both of the freshmen. Our MC knew that his sister was watching and thought that he should show her that he could now protect himself. He also took a deep breath and thought that he should use this opportunity to show that he could also make friends with other guys. And upon loss in thought, Ronan had a eureka moment from the words that he heard from the headmaster's mouth. He then raised his hand to get Krava's attention. He told him that he would like to have a suggestion. This guy then repeated the same words that the headmaster had said a while ago. And that was the thing, that they're free to choose whoever they want to fight. Krava felt uneasiness as he was now waiting for Ronan's suggestion. All of the seniors also didn't expect to hear something like this from a freshman. They even got annoyed. Our MC just told everyone that he would like to fight the 4 of them. All at once, the atmosphere around the pit then started to change. With this kind of request from Ronan, the professors had no choice but to consult each other. This was the very first time it happened. Krava also tried asking Professor Nabiros about this matter, and this hot waifu professor agreed to it. She told the headmaster that they should honor the request of Ronan. This would also embody the principle of the academy that if someone possesses skills, they could be free and do whatever they want. On top of that, whoever wins this duel would hold a significant meaning towards the other students present. Professor Nabiros also assured them that if something goes wrong, she would immediately intervene. The headmaster started thinking about Nabiros's input, and after a few seconds, he came to a conclusion that they will now agree with it. The duel will now proceed. After that short meeting, Ronan and the other sophomore students were now in the middle of the pit. These 4 really felt like they have been belittled by a young and arrogant guy. Their annoyance could really be seen in their eyes. Karan and Irina voiced their anger. They thought that they needed to teach Ronan some humility in him. He cannot be doing all of these things just because he ranked 2nd in the overall entrance exam. But then, the ranked 1 sophomore stopped them from talking nonsense. Nasto told everyone to be calm first. He thought that they couldn't just let their guard down because even Shalepen seemed to recognize the skill of Ronan. The new guy even defeated this noble in their scores in the practical exam. Nasto told everyone that they should all go all out from the start. These 3 knew that this simple duel was really an important step towards their careers, so they followed Nasto's orders. Meanwhile, Iril was already panicking. She also felt that the atmosphere got chaotic. This supportive pretty sister then started cheering for Ronan. She advised him that if ever he would be in danger, he should just forfeit the match immediately. Ronan replied to his sister with a smile. This meant that he had heard what she was saying, and by seeing this, Iril was able to calm down. After a few seconds, Headmaster Krava facilitated the match. He announced that the duel between the seniors and Ronan will now commence. As soon as the battle started, Nasto rushed towards Ronan. His speed was really remarkable, but our MC just calmly dodged the attack from the ranked 1 sophomore. He thought that these guys were really sharp and strong. Ronan even compared them to Maria's current strength, and these guys were a couple levels higher than hers. And while dodging, he wondered if these guys were really on a whole nother level. Irina also made her move and made her attempt towards this one, but her attack was just blocked. This one also had her serious and focused face, and because this fight had already escalated, she continued doing her combos. Karin then suddenly appeared behind and told Irina to duck. These two managed to move and act like they were thinking the same thing. But as for our MC, he just stood there while carefully watching them. He noted that his seniors had this amazing teamwork while blocking the spear of Karin. The force from that attack was powerful enough to make Ronan back for a few feet. Before he could even recover, our MC already noticed something beside him. Braun was already near him, and this muscled guy had his massive sword readied. Wearing an unmistakably annoyed expression, he earnestly questioned Ronan, asking why he was engaging in such actions. This guy expressed his disappointment as he thought that he could have more serious spar towards the freshman. And while saying those words, he completed his attack. Meanwhile, Ronan maintained his cool. He knew that this attack was a swift and strong finishing blow. On top of that, the other 3 sophomores were already making their way for a follow-up attack. These skills only showed that they're at a really high level, and in that split second, the world seemed to have stopped. Ronan managed to check everyone's position. The next thing they knew was that Ronan was already gone from his position. Braun was not able to stop his attack and ended up hitting the ground. These 3 didn't really expect this kind of development. Irina was the first one to notice where Ronan was. She then wondered how this guy managed to move this quickly. After that short thought, these ones have finally noticed that they got hit by Ronan's sword. In this main character's mind, fill-in really was amazing. The swords of those 3 sophomores were also shattered, but the fight was still not over. Luckily, Ronan didn't become complacent and noticed this. Braun had this menacing expression. Ronan claimed that this one was really a tough one. He then told Braun that with the attacks and dodging he just did, that should have crushed his spirit. But it didn't. Braun then charged towards our MC. Ronan then concluded that he should be at least considerate about their feelings and meet their resolve. Instead of dodging or blocking Braun's attack, Ronan went in front of him and was about to meet him head-on. This guy stopped for a second as he saw a stance that was familiar with him. Right now, Ronan was about to do something that would shock everyone. Our MC just replicated the same stance that Professor Nabiros did when she was about to scare him last time. And before releasing the attack, Ronan closed his eyes and smiled. This guy just performed a high-level technique that allowed him to release 3 quick and accurate slashes in a short period of time. It was also enough to make some cracks on Braun's massive sword. This sophomore guy could only smirk as he can't believe that this really happened. Ronan then thanked all of his seniors and told them that he learned a lot. This one still recognized their strengths, but the truth is, our MC was just a genius. Plus the plot armor was just too strong. After that, the whole Colosseum became silent. Ira was still processing what just happened between those short moments. And a few more seconds, the whole place exploded with cheers of admiration towards Ronan. The other students were now wondering who this new freshman was. As for these 4, all of their weapons got destroyed. This meant that they were really completely defeated. Nasto even commented that with that kind of one-sided fight, he was not even embarrassed about losing. He then wondered where this kind of talent came from all of a sudden. All he could think was that Ronan's strength was just too monstrous. Meanwhile, our MC kept being silent. He has fixed his gaze onto something. Turns out, Ronan checked his sister and how she was doing after his fight. Earl could be seen bugging the person beside her as she was really proud about him. He also turned his attention towards his seniors. Ronan thanked them for their good work. He paid his respects and even thanked these ones. This was really an unexpected move from him. Our MC even explained himself in front of the sophomores. He claimed that he only suggested this duel because he got too excited to be in fill-in. But in the end, he was met with their unimaginable strength. Maria and Estelle were also watching their friend, and seeing him do these kinds of courtesies almost confused them. In the end, Ronan bowed in front of the four and asked to forgive his rudeness. He also asked for their assistance in the future. Nasto, Karim, and Irina got speechless after hearing all of that. Brown was the one that broke their silence, as this one was just too glad to realize that Ronan was a good guy after all. He thought that he was not only strong but also polite. This one then approached our MC and held his hand. He claimed that Ronan didn't need to be so humble, as all he did was to display his abilities. Braun then raised Ronan's hand and declared that he won this fight fair and square. And that was what a Philian student was all about. Our MC was starting to form a nice bond between him and the other students. And this was all planned, as he wanted his sister to see that he had nice social skills. Lo and behold, he was spot on. Errol was already crying because she thought that her younger brother had grown up so much. As for this guy beside her, I felt bad for him. His t-shirt was turned into an off-shoulder dress, and while this glorious moment was happening, a mysterious student had noted Ronan's existence. This one even thought that our MC was really an interesting boy. Later that night, all of the students were now inside their dormitories. They were having this sumptuous dinner that the academy had prepared for them. This made them feel that all the preparation for passing the entrance exam was all worth it. Ronan, Asel, and Mary were also enjoying the feast. Our MC had already expected this, but in reality, it was more grand than what he had imagined. Mary then claimed that this was just to be expected from the best institution of the empire. Asel then changed the topic and asked about his sister. Turns out, our MC had already sent her off. He remembered that it took him a while before he could assure her that he would be fine here. Ronan also left this cool and Chad baby dragon with her so she could be safe along the way. Asel then praised Ronan for being an amazing brother for Errol. Our MC was then about to taste the food that Philin had prepared for them. But then, Shalipan appeared beside him with this kind of ominous aura. This guy was asking how Ronan could eat his meal right now. Ronan then turned towards the source of the voice and found Shalipan's face near him. That was the moment Ronan lost it. He was really annoyed because he can't even eat in peace now. He then asked Shalipan what his deal was and what he wanted this time. The noble then told him that he was just checking something important. Shalipan brought out a pen and a notebook and asked some personal questions. He wanted to know where Errol lives and if the place was far from the academy. This one was attempting to determine the safety of the road near their residence.